Good morning, my little starlights. It's yours truly, Luminara here, and today we're gonna talk about the situation we all know about, the Infinity Nikki situation. So buckle up and bear with me. Once upon a time, there was a game that promised magic, wonder, and a fashion beyond imagination, the Infinity Nikki. A dreamlike world where every outfit told a story. But now, the dream is actually crumbling pretty fast. So today we are diving deep into the storm that hit Infinity Nikki like a whirlwind. From broken promises and Retcon storylines to predatory monetization and fake discounts, it isn't just a drama, it's actually a full-blown betrayal at this point. So grab a cup of tea or coffee, my starlights, because this tale gets messy. And let's begin with the moment that the fairy tale started to fracture. So what is actually the Infinity Nikki? Infinity Nikki is an open-world fashion adventure game created by Infold games, a part of the famous Nikki franchise. And for a while, it looked like they had a golden goose in their hands. Players could explore, battle, dress up, and interact with a living, breathing world full of charm and beauty. It was one of the most wishlisted games on Steam at some point. We will go back to this in a moment. People were excited. I was excited. But the excitement turned out to outrage pretty fast. And the numbers don't lie. So, after a highly anticipated launch, the game began to collapse under the weight of its own lies, actually. The review scored plumped, trust broke, and all it took was a series of really bad decisions made worse by even worse responses. Now we are gonna to talk about the Steam wishlist reward scandal that actually started it all. So let's start with the first crack. The Steam pre-registration campaign called Infinity Nikki Journey of Wishes. Sounds wholesome, right? Well, just wishlist the game, hit milestones, and get some in-game rewards. So players pushed hard. I pushed hard as well. They even helped Infinity Nikki reach one of the top spots on Steam at some point. In return, they were promised more or less 11 Resonate crystals. At least this is what the graphic said, okay? I will show you the graphic right now. When the goal was reached, Infold actually quietly changed the image on their official Twitter account. Suddenly, the promised crystals became just 2, and the rest were gone, as if players wouldn't notice. So, naturally, the community erupted. People were furious, and then came the compensation. So, after the Infold did this, they responded by gifting 10 revelation crystals, which, funny enough, looked a lot like the original reward they presented to us, this mysterious reward. And now it was just wrapped in a PR spin of, oopsie, our bad, but here is a gift, guys, don't be mad. So actually it wasn't the compensation, it was what you were owed in the first place. But even if this small thing happened, it wasn't that big of a deal. Like, players could still forget about it and be like, okay, it happened, but we'll forget about it. We will go on. We love this game so much that we will just go on. But it wasn't only that, okay? We're going a little bit later, and on 28th of April, update 1.5 came up. And that actually when the war of the beauty began. We're gonna start with the story retcon. You are not in your mom's attic anymore. So remember watching Nikki's open the dusty attic door, seeing her mother's dress glint in the sun? It felt like stepping into the Narnia. Wardrobe is opening. It felt so magical to me. Emotional, perfectly pieced. Original, the player who lived for that moment were hooked. But then, April 28th arrived. Welcome to the Sea of Stars. Nikki spawns in a new scene without a setup, no attic, no story, just a freaking chaos at this point. So fans call it Retcon disjointed storytelling, and even said it's been 6 months. What part of your lore isn't planned? Key characters like Anna and Giovanni sidelined or butchered. Side character plots scrapped. The emotional product gone. They asked us to play the tutorial again, even though we already did. I am the player from the day one, and I was just like, what is happening? Why am I learning to jump again? I know how to jump. And still, we don't understand the new opening at this point. And to be honest, guys, I am not sure about you, but I still don't understand what is going on. I have no idea what they presented. I have no idea what happened to my other world. Like, I've heard that all of the stories I was playing and I was creating, they are gone. So I am like, what's the point of playing? I don't know. So this wasn't an update. It was a betrayal to the story we fell in love with. But that's not all. This is just one of the points. The next point we are gonna talk about is actually the dye system. The dream colors are actually gone behind a paywall. After the story retcon, we are presented with all of those jumpy elements, notifications, red dots. One of those is the dye system, teased lovingly in the actual previous update, Caring for a Bouquet event. Bouquet? You know what I mean. Collect the overworld petals, combine them, get new colors. It felt custom, it felt creative, it felt simple, and mostly free. So I was one of those people that after this event, I was going to the overworld and collect all the materials I could because I thought that's how the dyeing system will work, right? But once the version 1.5 hit, everything actually changed. No more petal-based dyeing, no more gathering materials, and instead, a locked currency, new currency, all new colors, pay or wait for another rare drop. Because the new currency that they presented, you can either get from the events, or you just can, spit some coin, get it for your money. So after all of this, your petals, your materials, worthless now. To unlock colors you already collected materials for, you need a new currency and you'll only get a tiny amount from events or pay real money. And here's the kicker. You dye each piece separately. You understand that? So for example, you just got a new perfectly awesome outfit that has 11 pieces. We will talk about that in a minute as well. And you have to dye each piece separately. Can you imagine? It's crazy. Creativity, a little bit gone, customization, gone, replaced by greed, repetition, and frustration. But let's go talk about actually the outfits from the 1.5 update. Those are gorgeous, and I have to tell you that I actually used all my saved pulls to get the last evolution of the Crimson outfit. Because it is amazing. Was it worth it? At this point, I don't know, because I am playing this game rarely, but I really enjoy how it looks like. Who doesn't love a new outfit? 2 5-star sets unveiled in 1.5. We cheered, we pulled, and all this hype was until we saw each set had 11 pieces. Before, the maximum was 10. Now to finish, up to 220 pulls per outfit. Yes. And you know what's the funniest part? That the 11th piece, literally, the invisible element under that ball gown, you'll only see if you zoom in on the feet. Neat, right? And what the funny part is that actually those socks were not visible in the teasers. So everyone was like, how did you even come up with this? I was the one of the people who was like, you just added that, right? To get the money, you just added that. But that's not all. We're just in the middle of all of this. The next one, you have all of those pieces. You need a currency to get all those pieces. And one of the places you can get this currency is actually the Mira crown that give you gems. The Mira crown is in InfinityNikki's late game styling contest. unlockable at Mira level 25. Before, it ran every 14 days, letting you collect free pooling currency pretty regularly. But after 1.5, Infold removed one of the rotations. Then it was only once a month instead of twice like it used to be, slushing players' free resources. So not only actually you want us to spend more of our currencies, of our gems, of our revelation crystals, but also you're taking away from us the option to actually get those for free? It doesn't seem fair, does it? And guess what? That pushes you to spend real more money to pull more. And again, for sucks. But moving on with all of the monetization, we have fake discounts. Yeah, you've heard that right. We all love it in the gacha games and gacha space. We all love the fake discounts. So actually in the shop, there is a decorative furniture piece, at least it looks like a furniture, that is called Bubble Moments. I know that you can interact with this and bathe, which is weird, but okay. Even though we don't have any house decoration options at this point, but you know, maybe it's another teaser. You will have to buy each furniture on your own if you want to get anything. Oh my god, that would be crazy. I hope I didn't just call it out. Please no. So this actually Bubble Moments, a decorative furniture piece, was slapped with 49 euro tag. And obviously the Infold is so generous, then they discounted it to be 9.99 euros. That's obviously a fake sale. That's a classic shill. And actually, this is a violation of EU and FTC rules against fabricated savings. So at this point, that is legally shady. But morally, it's even worse. So it gets worse. The game just actually broke. It crashes. Login failures. Infinite loading. Missing currencies. Soft locks. Players literally could not play. Version 1.5 wasn't just greedy, it was unstable and unplayable. Features stripped away, replaced by broken systems and forced monetizations. So April 28th wasn't just a patch, it was actually a turning point. Story was erased, dice system gutted, outfits overpriced, fake discounts, and bugs galore. As previous points state, the 1.5 wasn't an update, it was a haste, a betrayal of trust, all wrapped inside a world we actually once loved. So what after all of this? After all of this came the Girlcott. You heard that right? A movement that actually started not with silence, but with voices rising. Voices that refuse to be silenced. What exactly is a Girlcott? It's a protest led primarily by women, who railed against InfinityNikki's toxic update. They called it Girlcott after the devs reportedly deleted calls for boycott from their community spaces. By removing the word boycott, Infold didn't silence the backlash, they actually inflated it. Across the Reddit global forum, stylists posted, "Girl solidarity, girl fight back." The movement blew up. Players shared stories about wasted pulls, buggy gameplay, broken systems, and emotional betrayal. This wasn't a random backlash. It was a collective breakdown of trust. Stylists were not angry. They were heartbroken. They invested time, creativity, and love. When you erase the story, gut the system, and nickel-dime your players, all that's left is embarrassment and resentment. So Girlcott at the end of the day wasn't just a hashtag, wasn't just a phase, it was actually a demand, a declaration that we deserve better, we deserve respect, and if you won't give it, we will take a stand. And what came after this whole situation, after the Girlcott? It came the apology. damage control, and PR theater. So after weeks of silence, Infold finally spoke. They dropped an official apology, but instead of healing the wounds, it only rubbed salt into them. What was that about? Well, it was more of like, oh, we're sorry for any confusion caused. Confusion? Darling, we were not confused. We were deceived by all of this, starting with the Steam situation. So instead of owning their choices, they danced around responsibility. No real promise of change, no rollback, just fluff. I actually have video about the deep dive of what they said, what they promised, and what they tackled about in their apologies, so you can check it out. But after this apology, I actually saw a lot of comments from the players that said they felt insulted. Not just let down, insulted. As Infold thought we wouldn't notice, as if we don't read between the lines, if we don't see what they mean. So no, this wasn't an apology, it was a PR maneuver. Too little, too late. Because trust once shattered isn't patched by words, but it's rebuilt with actions. And to be honest, I want to wait for actions because I really love this game and I really want to see if something will change. I am willing to wait for this game to change. After all of this, we actually got a teaser for a newest update that is coming out tomorrow. That's why I decided to give this video to you today, so you can have all the information fresh and you can see how it looks like. I saw all of the teasers, I saw all of the videos about the new update, and I realized that I was super excited at first, but mostly because the fairy dress is cute. But there is nothing interesting other than that. The dress is cute, don't get me wrong, the dress is cute. I would love to get her. I don't think I will get her, but it's cute. The main problem is that there are not a lot of other things that are interesting. I don't want new fillers. I don't want only new outfits. I don't want like cutie patootie elements, at least not only that. I really want to know what happens next. One of the main reasons I decided to stay with InfinityNikki wasn't only just about the outfits and amazing graphics, but also about how deep the world came out to be. The main quest was so catchy that I really wanted to craft the first miracle outfit to know what happens next and to save people from Miraland, and I just don't understand what went wrong. I'm just hoping that you will have a lot of fun in the next updates. Maybe you love the update that will be tomorrow. Let me know down in the comments. Maybe I am just overly negative and you see something I don't see, so I really want to know what you think about the newest update and newest outfits. But as for now, that is all from me. I hope you stay safe, I hope you stay cozy. Remember to let me know in the comments, how do you feel about all this? How do you feel about this video? If it was too much ranty, or I didn't say enough, or it should be in a different manner. I would love to hear your thoughts. Hope you had a fun time with me. And let me also know down in the comments, what do you think about my new avatar? I spent a lot of time on creating my very own first PNG tuber. And yeah, that's gonna be it for today. Stay sparkling, stay cozy, and take care, Starlights. Bye!